Hi guys, welcome back to a cold and windy autumnal day here in the northeast of England. Welcome back to the Life's Good. Apple tree. This is supposedly a Braeburn apple tree. It's had an abundance of apples on it this year, as indeed it does most years. And this wind is knocking it about and a lot of the apples are falling off. I've been grabbing a few. There's far more here than we could possibly eat in a few days or a week or so. So we've been looking at ways of storing them. Now Cheryl's experimenting by peeling, chopping and freezing some, which we hope to use in some puddings at some point in the autumn, winter months. You can put them in crumbles, pies, that sort of thing. I'm fully intending making some chutney. And I've got a little recipe that I use, and I've grabbed a handful of apples from here this morning and I'm going to take those indoors and show you how I make a bit of chutney. We had a little bit of an exciting moment this morning in the lounge in the front room, and before I end up in the kitchen and show you my chutney, have a little look at this and I'll see you back in the kitchen. Well, this was a surprise this morning, everyone. We've just had some breakfast and Cheryl's getting herself organised to pop out for a while. And she suddenly let out a scream and said, AJ, come and see this. And in our lounge, our front room, as you can see, on the floor, next to the chimney, there's this little chap. Can you make out what it is yet? We'll get down close. Look at him.
Oh.
We have no idea where he's come from. He's hopping around. He's hopping around in our front room this morning. Really strange. Maybe. We'll have to take him out and put him in the garden, probably near the pond. I'm just dropping the camera, guys. Sorry about that. It looks like he's a frog of some description.
It's a frog.
And we're going to put him back out in the garden.
He'd be dry.
Oh, strange, isn't it? Have no idea how he managed to get inside the house.
Maybe he come off this balloon thing.
Oh, he could have been.
You put them in the garden.
Well, yeah, we did have these balloons for Cheryl's birthday outside the front door for a while. It's possible he was attached to the bottom of there. Well, unusual. We'll see if we can put him out safe. Gonna take him out in the garden, guys. He's jumping all over the place. Gonna put him up by the pond. Oh, there you go. Look, sort yourself out from here. There you go. Whoa. See him?
Yeah.
He's going to make his way into a safer spot. How unusual finding a frog in your front room. Just got myself a little tipple from the pub under the stairs, guys. Ruby red ale. Rather lovely, actually. There's nothing nicer on a cold autumn Saturday afternoon than being indoors in the kitchen, being creative, and a little bit of your home brew to keep you refreshed. Apple chutney. I've got an array of ingredients here, guys, and I will be putting the information for this in the description box underneath the video. So when you look on YouTube, you see the little screen for my video. Underneath there's a description, and if you look in there, I will put into that description the list of ingredients that I've put together for this. So what have we got? We've got about 1.5 kilograms of apples, and that in imperial measurement is about 3 pounds. So 3 pounds of apples. We've got 150 grams of sugar. Now I've got brown sugar here, guys. You can probably use any sugar you like. You can use a light brown sugar, demerara sugar, ordinary white granulated sugar, whatever you've got available. I do prefer to use the brown sugar or the dark brown sugar. It gives it a certain richness and a slightly different flavour than just a plain white sugar. So dark brown sugar. That's 150 grams, which is about 5 ounces, I think you'll find, in imperial measurements. We've got about 600 mils, which is, what is that, about a pint, just over a pint, pint and a bit, pint and a quarter maybe, of cider vinegar. Now I prefer to use the apple cider vinegar. You can use malt vinegar or distilled vinegar, whatever you prefer. I do find that the apple cider vinegar balanced with the apples actually makes it a much nicer chutney. I've got some sultanas here. We've got about 165, 170 grams of sultanas. That's about 6 ounces, I guess. Thereabouts, 5 or 6 ounces of sultanas. Lemon juice. I do put a bit of lemon juice in. Now, if you've got a whole lemon, that's ideal. Get all the juice from that lemon and the zest of the outer skin of the lemon. That's great in this chutney. I don't happen to have one today, so I've chosen just to use about a tablespoon of lemon juice. This little pot we keep in the fridge, always handy for all sorts of applications. Lemon juice, tablespoon. Did I say that? I think I did. And I've got a selection of spices here. Yeah, you can see that. There's a little bit of a mixture in there. Basically, it's all done on a teaspoon stroke half teaspoon measuring scale. I've got a teaspoon of coriander seeds, a teaspoon of mustard seeds, a teaspoon of cloves, teaspoon of black peppercorns, and a half a teaspoon of allspice powder. I almost forgot to mention in the ingredients, guys, that we also need a couple of good sized onions, finely diced to fairly small pieces, and that is in addition to the apples. A couple of medium sized onions. I've used these white onions. I suppose you could use almost any onion you like, what you prefer, but a couple of medium sized finely diced to add into your mixture. So we're going to put all this together in a pan. I've got my preserve pan here. This is I've shown you this before. It's a stainless steel pan. It does have quite a thick bottom on this, really heavy bottom, which distributes the heat very, very well. If you use a thin base pan, you tend to get hot spots where the gas or the electric ring is on the bottom of the pan. You get hot spots, and that's where some of this, particularly with the sugars in and the fruit in, can stick to those hot spots and burn onto the bottom of the pan, and they can take the flavour of your jams and chutneys or whatever else you're making. So I do like a really heavy bottom pan. This one's quite a heavy pan, to be honest, and as I said, that distributes the heat a lot better and you get a more even cooking inside this pan. Nice stainless steel pan, ideal for this. And when you're selecting the pan, do please make sure that the pan is plenty big enough for all of the ingredients you're going to put in. Otherwise you may find you get to the top of the pan and you're in trouble. You're in a spot of bother then. So a big enough pan for all of the ingredients, and away you go. And what we're going to do, guys, is basically put the vinegar in the pan, start heating it, add the sugar to the vinegar, dissolve it in, then add the spices and the apple and the sultanas and the lemon juice, mix it all together and simmer it for an hour, couple of hours or so, until it's reduced down to a nice sticky, lumpy, bumpy chutney consistency. So I'll set myself up on the stove and let you see what I'm doing there. Okay, here we go. So 600 mils or just over a pint of apple cider vinegar. Put that in your pan. Turn on the heat. And you want to start bringing this up to the boil. And whilst it's warming, you can add your sugar. I've I've got a wooden spoon that I use for my jams, chutneys and so on. I'm going to stir the sugar into the vinegar as it's warming. And you want to bring this now up to a simmer. This vinegar is just about simmering now, guys. So what I'm going to do is add all of the spices. Just stir those in for a moment. Let's add a few minutes now with the spices in. I'm now going to put in the sultanas. Give that a little stir. I can pop in the onions at this point. Give them a chance to cook into the vinegar. There we go. As I said, just a couple of medium onions. And now we can add the apples, which incidentally I have cored. All I do is I cut them in half and I take off all the flesh in segments, leaving the core, which I've thrown into the compost bin, and dice them into fairly large chunks. They're sort of 1-inch chunks of apple, and I do leave the skin on, guys. You can peel them if you want. Peel the apple, core it, chop it up, but I've just taken them in half, taken off the flesh into chunks and left the skins on. So those now can go in the pan. Together with a tablespoon, that's the end of the pot, so I'll just get rid of the last few drips. A generous tablespoon of lemon juice. And all we do now is give it a good stir, mix it all together, and let this simmer and slowly reduce. Smells absolutely gorgeous here, guys. Absolutely beautiful aroma. Well, this has been simmering for about an hour and a half, I guess, hour and 3/4, and all the liquid has reduced now, and this is now quite a sticky, gloopy mess. But it looks good. It's gone a dark brown colour, and it smells absolutely wonderful, and this is about ready to go into jars. It's been a productive afternoon, guys, and as a result we now have two, they're quite warm actually, two reasonable sized jars of chutney and two smaller jars to go in the store cupboard for use later in the year. You heard that pop then. When you put the hot chutney into the jars, and I do make sure the jars are warm before I do that, otherwise you could crack one. You put the lid on, and as it cools down, it sucks the lid in tight, and that little dimple in the middle of the lid gets sucked in, and it creates a vacuum. When you buy a jar in the supermarket, you very often check it, and if you can press that in and it sounds like that, that implies that the lid's been opened and the product inside may not be as good or as safe as you'd like it to be. So as they cool down, they suck the lids in tight, creating a really nice seal. You can pop these in your cupboard now, put them on a shelf somewhere safe, and I would recommend leaving them for 6 to 8 weeks before you use them. So we'll put these to one side now, and these will be ideal later in the year, approaching Christmas time. Great with cheese, great with cold meats, on sandwiches, in wraps, or all manner of applications to use your chutney, guys. It's absolutely wonderful. We've got plenty of apples left outside that I will be bringing in, and we will be making some more. You can tweak it a little bit, you can add different things to it if you like. You can make it spicy, you can put ginger in it, whatever you prefer. It's your ideas in there, guys. It's whatever you like in your chutney. But the basics of the apple and the onion and some spices and the vinegar is what you want, and then you can add to that any extras you like. Well, that's AJ's. Oh, it stayed in this time. AJ's apple chutney with raisins, or sultanas in this one, wasn't it? And yeah, so hope you guys can do the same. Well, look, whatever you're up to, guys, you look after yourselves and stay safe. Come back to see us again. Don't forget to subscribe, that little button in the corner. Subscribe to the channel. If it's your first time here, thank you for taking the time, and pop back and see some of our earlier videos. Have a look and see what else we've been up to here. There's plenty more to come. I will be making some more chutneys, some more jams and wines as well. They've all been promised. I haven't had an awful lot of time to do an awful lot, but we keep plodding on. We do a bit here and a bit there and a bit somewhere else, and gradually we've got our produce from the garden into the kitchen and ultimately into the store cupboard or the freezer, and we like to share that with you guys and show you how we do it. Right, that's it for today. It wasn't quite as long as the pickled onions. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. Thank you to my new subscribers. I got quite a few new subscribers as well, and I'm really pleased to see my subscriber level is creeping up. Share with your friends, hit the bell, the subscription button, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you again in the Life's Good. Bye bye for now. Ta-da.